can't believe Raven Rock Mines.
I'm starving. Any help will do.
You got a good thing going here now that you've reopened the mines. Don't let it go to waste. I've always had a steady stream of work thanks to the Veteran card, so it hasn't affected me much. However, I've seen the smile on people's faces, and there's hope around here once again. Something we've been lacking for a long time. Glover Mallory's that... blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Bring your weapons and armor to me.
Mallory,
I'll fix it up
you need
right.
to talk some sense into your husband. I
You've
work
got
for
so
Mogul.
much hope
You've
to
got a
offer.
problem.
My
You
husband
talk to
Vendel
him.
feared visitors would
I don't know
shout.
who sent you here. Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark. That would be splendid. I'd be more than happy to give you something for the effort. After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lonnie, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit. It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal. When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstheim, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help.
Anything for my stand today?
As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstheim. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Careful with those netches. They may look tame, but they can seriously hurt you and threaten.
Mogul doesn't lend coin to outlanders.
Stay out of my way.
Look somewhere else.
It's... Yeah, so, what can I get you? Got everything. Things are picking up for now. All I'm wondering is how long it'll take for House Redorin to begin ignoring us again if the mine runs out of ore for a second time. Bad. What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends at the East Empire Company and see if they need an extra hand in Windhelm.
Disgusting.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've corresponded with Vittoria Vici herself more than once. You know, the lady who runs the East Empire Company warehouse in Solitude. The biggest warehouse they have in Skyrim. Ah, you're just like the rest of the folks around here. Mark my words. The East Empire Company will return to Raven Rock. And when they do, I'll be at the top of their list. The question you should be asking is, what don't I sell here? Because I have pretty much any supplies you might need. If it's not a weapon, potion, or armor, then it's likely that I have it. Jarland, over at the docks, brings me most of my supplies, and the rest comes from bartering with the people in town. Oh, Glover Mallory gets me a few things once in a while. He usually has the most amazing deals that I can't pass up. If you need any supplies, you know where to find me.
Keldron Cerro, blade for hire. If you have the coin. Then let's be off. Lead off. What's our next move? Lead on. What's our next move? If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure. Right behind you.
I thought I told you I didn't want you hanging around here.
Yeah, I heard you before.
Anytime you want to head for Skyrim, I'm right with you.
Out of here. And we
I've
both
spent
know
enough time on Solstheim.
Working on those standing stones feels like a bad dream.
And I'm supposed to run my operation outside in a pile of
I
ash?
work.
I don't
Who
think
doesn't
so.
lend coin to outlanders?
I'll give you this warning
Look
only
somewhere
once.
else.
Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine.
Squatting isn't tolerated in the abandoned buildings. If you need a place to stay, head to the Corner Club.
Do you have any plans for the west end of town? We feel awfully exposed.
I don't know. Destroying the ash spawn has made it safe
my
to
disposal.
organic fields.
All
Thanks.
myself.
Careful with those knives.
Look at me. I'm a different person. Don't pity me. And don't look at me like that. I know what I am. Couldn't be better. The sections that are being opened up have revealed some huge deposits of ebony. Old Cretius has a nose for exactly where to dig. If they'd only listened to him years ago, the town wouldn't have been in such dire straits. At this rate, I'll be able to put a roof over my head in just a few months. Doesn't everyone pity the hopeless? Look at me. I'm no better than a beggar. I used to be a miner. A good one, too. I made more gold digging up ore in a month than some people earn in a lifetime.
Are the ash yams growing?
When the
where you
mine
expected
dried
to
up,
see
I
them?
was lost. I have no other trade, so I spend my time drinking my fortune away at the wretched niche. Or I used to,
Well, we
anyway.
had to do something. We'd rather starve
That
than
fetcher
give up
Gildis
this
won't
water.
even allow me inside. Said I was bad for business. If I want to spend my last bag of coins getting drunk, that's my business. What does he care? You can try. If you can get that stubborn mule to let me into the niche, I'll make sure you get what's coming to you. It might take more than a simple request to change
Get
Gildis.
anything from my stand today?
He can be quite stubborn.
Plenty of work in the mine.
Welcome. The mine's open. Have you seen the poor girl? She's a mess. Oh, she used to be richer than Councillor Morvain, and she's spending it all drowning her sorrow. As much as I love making coin, I can't watch her do that anymore. I won't. I suppose you're right. If she wants to spend her life at the bottom of an ale mug, it's her choice. Tell her she's welcome back any time. The finest sujamma to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujamma. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kind of hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujamma and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you.
The mines are open and the shop is busy. Look at me. Well then,
Thank you.
I suppose I'm off to do what I do best. Here, this was something I carried around in happier times. Maybe you can find a use for it. The day I refuse Sujamma from Geldis is the day I sprout wings and fly off this rock.
As it is,
That isn't my fault.
See you in the mines.
You've brought so much hope to... Sure, got nothing better to do. After free from danger.
I work for Mokul. I'll give you this warning. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Here, have some food.
I don't know who's... I should mix some of this into my next potion. Who knows what would happen? Careful with those nudges. They may look tame, but they can seriously hurt you and threaten.
Don't pity me. And don't look at me like that. I know what I am.
My husband Vendel feared visitors would shun Raven Rock.
It's busier now that things are starting to look... Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks.
So the entire town can hear you, idiot. Just give them to me. If you need it, put it on my account.
Stein, what's our next move?
If you're looking to purchase something, speak to my father, Ethis.
And that's the end of it.
You got a good... Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Bring your weapons and armor to me.
Look at me.
I'll fix it up
I'm
right.
a different person.
I'm sorry to bother
And I have you
you.
to
Second
thank
Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent. All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the ash spawn. Please, go speak to the second councillor as soon as possible.
There's nothing beyond the bulwark, except wild nodes and...
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head. It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Ravenrock. Ravenrock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Ravenrock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes. What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head clear. You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open. But all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, I can't risk any attacks on Ravenrock. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Reruran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstheim. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this I consider vital to House Reruran's survival. Traitors, the lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. Don't worry. You can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
This may be the front.
We have all... Sorry. Geldis won't allow me to drink while I'm working at Vernetch.
I don't know what you did in those mines. Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you. I'll gladly share my knowledge with you.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sujam... Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Azura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulans for years now.
Anytime you want to head for Skyrim.
No. I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulan ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I have it? Anytime Adril and the Redarin Guard made a move, the Ulans must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. When a Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. Back in 95, Vila Ulin came to Raven Rock with a plan to take over our town. The Fetcher thought he could stir up the locals and use them against the Redarin Guard, and then murder Consular Morvain when we weren't looking. He arrived alone, but spread enough coin around to start changing people's minds. Half the bloody town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redarin Guard. They were organised and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Veleth himself. Vila Ulin was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulin ancestral tomb. How do you feel? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again, thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. Come back if you're feeling thirsty. I'll set you up right.
Councillor Morvain is the only reason Raven Rock has survived. I'm glad that I'm finally traveling with someone who seems competent. My last patron was killed trying to tackle an entire fort of bandits alone.
Excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume the same thing you're doing, leaving an offering for the departed. Forgive my surprise. It's just that I wouldn't expect that sort of behavior from someone who isn't Dunmer. Since there aren't any Ulans left on this island, I've taken it upon myself to leave the traditional offering in their stead. What do you mean? I thought I was clear. I'm simply honoring a fellow departed Dunmer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to meditate a bit. Please, I don't wish to be disturbed while I'm meditating.
I hope Gelder's proved Telesu. Are you sure? So Geldus's plan worked, eh? Every time we tried it, no one would ever show up. If Telesu's involved in any sort of plot to harm Councillor Morvain, I'm going to need hard evidence to prove it. I'm not kicking down anyone's door until I have solid evidence in hand. If you're wrong about Telesu, things would quickly go downhill around here, and the real culprits might slip away. I can't afford for that to happen. If you have evidence and it places your life in peril, I would expect you to do whatever you must to keep yourself alive. Here, this key should open the front door of the manor in case they've locked it. Good luck. Telesu is wife to the family patriarch Vender. They have a single child, a daughter named Miri. They arrived here 10 years ago and have been nothing but a benefit to Raven Rock ever since. They are quite wealthy, and they've been quite generous by sharing their fortune with the community. They've contributed coin, food, supplies, even helped repair a few of the buildings in town with their own hands. People have mentioned it's a bit odd about how close in age Mary appears to be to her father, but that's hardly a cause for alarm. Just make sure you find solid evidence. If I accuse them without it, I'll be the laughing stock of the colony. Be careful. If the Severans have betrayed us, they'll be well armed.
I won't allow you to ruin years of combat. I know you're in here.
Watch it, Talisu. I think we might have a visitor.
What? I got it!
Show me!
Force!
It's not my time.
House Lala will have its revenge.
Anytime you want to head for Skyrim, I'm right with you. I've spent enough time on Solstheim to last a lifetime. hope we don't run into too many ash spawn out here. Anytime you want to head to Skyrim, I'm right with you. I've spent enough time on Solstheim to last a lifetime.
With the Ashbourne
Did
threat
you
taken
find
care
it?
of,
Then
I
we
think it's
finally have
they
them.
deserve.
All that remains now is chasing them down and bringing them to justice. Good. I'm going to send 2 of the best Redoran Guard we have to take them down. I want you to assist them any way you can. See that you do. We can't afford to let these traitors slip away. Ashfallow Citadel's been abandoned for a long time. Be ready for anything.
What are you gawking at, outlet? Damn ash. If you're looking for supplies, talk to Ferris. He'll set... you up with what? find plenty of wealth. Worth time. I join you in death. I can't believe Raven Rock Mine is open again. Finally.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Well, what happened? Wait. Then, it's finally over. What of the Redoran Guard I sent to assist you? Damn it. I was hoping to protect our people by sending them, not end up with casualties. To think that Vendel would stoop so low as to hire those fetchers. I'm glad you killed him. Wonderful. Simply wonderful. Councillor Morvain will be quite pleased when he hears about this. Follow me, and I'll take you to the Counselor so you can speak to him yourself.
You got a... Glover Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith... Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
Oh, how kind. Thank Gelders for me, won't you? Good journey, traveler.
If you're looking for passage to Vardenfell, you're out of luck. No ships are heading that way again.
Can I help you?
Excuse me, Councillor Morvain. I have some wonderful news.
Adriel, I haven't seen a smile on your face like that in a long time.
This visitor has single-handedly dealt with a threat that could have ended your life. Vendel, Telesue, and Miri Severin weren't who they appeared to be. I'm afraid they were here to avenge Villa Ulen's death.
Vendel? But he's done so much for Raven Rock. How could this be possible?
They did it to gain our confidence, Councillor. They had us all fooled. I should have been more vigilant. I'm sorry.
Don't say that. It's not your fault, old friend. And you, step forward. What you've done for me, for all of Raven Rock, goes far beyond what I would have expected from a traveler to our town. For this, you have my deepest gratitude. Now, I'm certain Adriel was prepared to reward you appropriately for everything you've done. However, since a bit of coin hardly seems like enough, I've decided to provide something more substantial. Since the Severin family, or whoever they were, turned out to be criminals, their property is now forfeit. As Counselor, I hereby award you Severin Manor, and everything contained within. You've earned your citizenship here, and I hope you'll consider staying with us as a member of our community.
Mallory over at the Irons Farm should be still mixing potions if you're seeking that sort of thing. Far west end of town.
I feel I owe you my life. Good old Geldis is always managing to keep our spirits up, and our eyesight hazy. Thank you. With the mines open, Raven Rock has become a significant colony of the Dunmer people again. I've been able to convince my superiors at House Redoran to send me the resources that they've been denying, now that we're deemed more important. Soon, we'll have a steady supply of workers and materials to keep things going for years to come. My doors are open if you wish to discuss matters involving Raven Rock.
Your efforts
I can't thank you enough for reopening the Ebony Mines. You've brought light to the dark. I've known the Councillor since we were both quite young. We rose the ranks in House Redoran together. When word arrived in Blacklight that the Councillor's father had passed, I was asked to sail to Raven Rock with him as his secretary. It meant passing on better opportunities at home, but I didn't want to leave his side. We fought quite a few battles together and saved each other's lives on more than one occasion. Our bond is our strength. We've always been at each other's side, and nothing will ever change that. I'm pleased I was mistaken about you, sir.
You think you have it, then? Try walking the bulwark at night. If you're looking for supplies, talk to Thetis. He'll set you up with whatever you need. I'm not sure why House Redoran is so insistent on maintaining Solstheim. Seems like more trouble than it's worth. Anytime you want to head for Skyrim, I'm right with you. I've spent enough time on Solstheim to last a lifetime.
Northern maiden,
Galland
ship
if you're
shape
looking to
and
book
ready to go.
Need something?
What's our next move? Right behind you.
I had another run-in with the Thieves' Guild.
Be careful, Mio. The Thieves' Guild has Maven Blackbriar at her back. One snap of her fingers
You're a
and you could end
stranger
up
here
in
too, huh?
jail. Or worse.
I've been adventuring across Tamriel since I was a fresh-faced young woman, barely able to swing a blade. My travels have taken me from High Rock to Valenwood, elsewhere to Morrowind, and all points in between. Many years ago I lost my blade, Grimsever, within a Dwemer ruin. I took it as a sign that I was wasting my days in search of wealth. You and I are alike. We seek challenge and great fortune. But for me, that's where the similarities end. You see, Riften is my great beast to be slain, and my fortune comes from gratitude and trust. They represent the reason I'm here. I can't just ignore them.
What do you want?
Somebody help! I'm getting out of here.
Not quite good enough.
My mind is on my experiments today. I'm aspiring to earn that title, yes. However, the road ahead is paved with loose cobbles and deadly pitfalls. Master Elgrim says I'm a natural, that I have a unique talent, but I fear his approval masks his intolerance for my mistakes. My errant formulas have cost Master Elgrim a fortune in ingredients, some of which are almost irreplaceable. To restore Master Elgrim's supply, I would need 20 Deathbell, 20 Nightshade, and 20 Nirnroot. Am I sensing that you may be interested in gathering these rare ingredients for me? That means more time for my experiments and less time in the field. Much appreciated. Nirnroot is the easiest. It grows only by the water and makes a unique chiming noise. The only drawback is it won't regrow after harvesting. Nightshade is native to the pine forest and marshy tundra regions of Skyrim, and has a distinctive starburst-like violet flower. Last we have Deathbell, which only grows in marshy tundra terrain. Its inverted bluish-purple flower bunches are unmistakable. My experiments can't be completed until you've brought me those ingredients. Do hurry.
Been wounded
I don't think...
I lived in the Grey Quarter of Window for years. Wretched place.
Whatever you need, Dragonborn. Just say the word.
Let's be...
Passage. Talk to Captain Gallup.
Northern Maiden is ship-shape and ready to go.
Yes?
May the wind be at your back, friend.
And Laurie over at the Iron.
With the Ashbourne threat taken care of, I can get... I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem with that. Second Councillor Arano is concerned that once word reaches the Reavers that the mine has reopened, they might think about paying us a visit. I say let them try. My men are ready for them.
Then it's
time you want to hit the
Find me
Skyrim,
that stash of
my
wine. I'm itching to be rid of it.
I've spent enough time on Soulstorm to last a life. Splendid. Another mouth to feed. You think you have it? Try walking the bulwark at night.
I don't know. Don't be put off by my husband's mood. He enjoys Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you. To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cretius is a third-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cretius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard. Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories. Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out. It was after refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cretius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body. I stayed for a while and cared for him, then I suppose we fell in love. Far from it. In fact, I'm no longer welcome there. In all honesty, it came down to a disagreement between what I believe and what Elder Othraloth believes. I'd prefer not to get into the details, but let's just say our opinions about the current status of the tribunal vary widely. Be careful out there.
Hope we don't run into too many ash spawn out here. Counselor Morvain is the only reason Raven will survive.
Welcome. Come on. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujamma in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that Netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry. The blacksmith up at Skull Village seems to have gone missing, and they've asked us to keep an eye out. The Veteran Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more. Safe travels, Outlander.
They serve the best sujama I've ever tasted over the ritual. Worth every coin. I've spent enough time on Soul Star to last me.
damn bandits are worse than the vermin. Left the ash wastes back home.
Hold, traveler. You have no business here. We mean you no harm, but be on your way. Leave us in peace. Leave. Now!
You have no business with our path. Be gone.
What's our next move? If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure. Right behind you. Despite the foul fiends that infest this place, we will find plenty of wealth to make it worth our time. What's our next... If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure.
Lead on.
Despite the foul beings that infest this place, I'm certain we'll find plenty of wealth to make it worth our time.
despite the foul feeling on his face.
Strike!